Tucker Carlson is defending rioters in Brazil and baselessly claiming that the Brazilian election was, quote, rigged. I don't think this will come as a shock to many of you. Fox News propagandist Tucker Carlson, who has taken very strange positions on Russia's invasion of Ukraine, who has taken very strange positions on everything from free speech to terrorism over the years, he says flat out, the election in Brazil was rigged. And then he uses that to justify and defend the rioting that we are seeing in the Trump riots Brazil version that we talked about yesterday. Let's listen.
Thanks to what was very clearly a rigged election, a convicted criminal called Lula da Silva is now the president of the most important country in South America. Millions of people in Brazil understand exactly what happened. They know that their democracy has been hijacked, possibly forever. But there's not much they can do about that. Lula may be a criminal, in fact he is, but he has the full support of both the Biden administration and the Chinese government.
Well, he won. That's an important detail. He won.
So yesterday, in frustration, a group of Brazilian protesters swarmed their legislature. Watch. Thanks to what was very...
So then he shows the video. Tucker Carlson then goes on to say that what happened in Brazil is being likened to January 6th, but that is very much not the case. Let's take a listen to this.
You may actually have seen some of that video in the United States over the last couple of days, and you saw it because it has political uses. What's happened in Brazil is being likened to January 6th, and of course populist leaders in this country are being blamed for it. Oh, it was Trump and Steve Bannon who did it. That's not true, but even if it were true, it would be just the tail end of the story. It would be the result of something that happened before. So the obvious question is, why are protesters in Brazil so angry?
Right.
Well, they're angry because the new Lula government has eliminated their most basic civil liberties. Lula is working to turn Brazil into a Chinese-style dictatorship, and he's doing it very quickly with maximum aggression.
What?
Now, our media don't want to talk about that. They
Because it's not true.
refuse to. Why? Well, for reasons that should make you very nervous.
Yeah. Listen, it's incredible when the right becomes so extreme and unhinged that I end up doing the strangest things on the show. And what I mean by that is I'm no fan of Lula politically, in the sense that, of course, if I was in Brazil and my choices were Lula and Bolsonaro, I vote Lula. But I've told you, Lula is in the mold of this sort of populist rhetoric, kind of corrupt, in the vein of some other South American leaders, where he's better than Bolsonaro, but it's not like I go, wow, this is someone I really, really think is an absolutely fantastic person. But if I'm on the side of the rule of law, there is no option here but to defend the legal basis for Lula's win, period, to defend the legal basis for Lula being the president, and to unanimously and categorically condemn what is happening in Brazil, and a similar attempt to what we saw in the United States. Because at the end of the day, Tucker says, well, it's different. It's different in that the mass arrests of the rioters seem to have started more quickly. That's good. It's different in that it's happening after the inauguration rather than before. That's true. It's different in that the guy they're rioting on the behalf of, Bolsonaro, is in Orlando in a hospital after going to KFC and a Publix. That's different, okay, than what Trump was up to on the day of the Trump riots. But it is the same in the sense that people are destroying property and being violent and trying to overwhelm police because they want a candidate that lost to be the president. That's the exact same thing. Brazil counted all of its votes in hours, just the way MAGA wants the United States to do. They did it in Brazil, but still they say it was fraudulent. Brazil's military found no fraud in the election. And then they say, well, they didn't rule out the fraud. Well, what exactly do you mean by that? They didn't rule it, but they didn't find any. Oh, no. That's weird language. It is indeed the same thing in terms of its motivations. And at this point, should we even be surprised that we are seeing Tucker defend the rioters? I say no. We'll have these clips on our Instagram, which you can find by searching Instagram for David Pakman Show. And please make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel at youtube.com/The David Pakman Show. You might remember that a few years ago, the show got hacked and many thousands of dollars were stolen. We never got it back. It's a terrible feeling. It can happen to anyone. But a couple of years ago, we got Aura, which really gives us significantly more peace of mind. And our sponsor, Aura, is the app that protects you from scammers by alerting you anytime your info like email, passwords, social security number are found in data breaches. Aura also automatically requests removal of your info from search engines, and it can reduce spam calls. Aura alerts you quickly about suspicious credit inquiries, like if someone tries to take a loan out in your name. And Aura's password manager makes it easy to keep your account secure to begin with. Aura also has parental controls for your kids' devices. You can restrict apps or manage screen time, set focus time, make sure they're doing homework instead of binging on YouTube. You can try Aura free for 14 days at aura.com/Pacman. Use the free trial to see if your email, password are already out there. You may be surprised. The link is down below.